Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your dinosaur host, Jennifer. I'm trying to make room. There's dinosaurs everywhere. They're multiplying. I don't know, like some of them I imagine. I feel like at this point they're absolutely multiplying by their own, because there is no way on God's green earth that I made all these dinosaurs this week. That was a battery. I can stay on the floor. I made dinosaurs. I made dinosaurs. That's not all I made though. My pile of amigurumi has grown exponentially. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper today. I have had maybe 3 Dr. Peppers in the past. Bentley, do you need to go to work with Mama? Let me go get my coworker. That would be my ride or die. He's right there somewhere. He's hiding. He's in his own office chair. So today, in your world, is Monday. It's not Monday in my world. I'm filming this on Saturday and out there. We'll just set that right there. We'll put a little plastic under it so that it doesn't ruin my beautiful butcher block top wood counter, because it's leaking real bad today. It's got the condensations happening. Put my big camera away so I can forget where I put it. Alright. My desk is crowded. It's crowded, as you can see. There's yarn and yarn remnants everywhere and a whole lot of fun. Okay, now, on Monday, I'm going to take my phone out of my pocket because it's poking me. On Mondays, I come to you and I tell you what I have been making in the past 7 days, give or take. I am astonished with how many I've pulled off, how many amigurumi I've pulled off in a week. And I talked about this, I did cover this a little bit in the members video, that I'm shocked with how much I made. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. But I know that I'm going to be asked again, are you going to sell them? Are you going to put them on the Etsy? I'm interested. I'm not doing any of this for that purpose right now. And I also had a couple of people say, you know, put the money towards fixing, getting your house, like all this stuff. Because if you're new here, I am in the process of trying to get this house prepared for the market, for selling it and moving further away from people in a peaceful place, little piece of property where I can have an office, hopefully not inside of my main living space. There's lots of dreams happening right now. The goal was to move by this summer, but we're kind of waiting until some financial things pan out so that we can go full tilt with this thing. And I'm really thinking that if we don't get a new house by summer, I think it will definitely be, but my goal is definitely by the fall. I want to be in a new house for Christmas. A lot of things happen when you put your house up for sale and when you're looking for a new house. Like, all these things take time. It takes so much time, and right now we're in the process of trying to just get things moved out of the house, get things thinned down, get things cleaned up. The goal is to have all the carpet upstairs replaced, replaced, to have the wood floors downstairs fixed up, polished up, because they're real wood. It's not like that weird fakey wood floor. Like, it's real. We have real wood floors and they can be beautiful, but I haven't had them polished or refinished since we've lived here for the long length of time we've lived in this house. So there's a lot of things that go into that, you know. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I give a life update on Monday Makes videos. So Monday is kind of like what I've made, but also what I've been up to the past 7 days, updates on life. And so we're going to cover all of that in today's video. This is usually a longer type video, bloggy. I really tell you lots and lots of things, and We just talk for probably an hour. So I hope you have your morning beverage or your afternoon beverage. Like I said, I'm drinking zero sugar Dr. Pepper. It is rare that I can even stomach those anymore. But let's get into it. All right. I'm apparently on a huge amigurumi kick. Which is funny because I've said several times last week, I'm not a fan of making amigurumi. Don't get me wrong, every once in a while I'll make something cute, okay? And I keep showing this bunny because this bunny is still sitting on my desk. But I fixed his mouth and he doesn't look as weird, okay? I took his mouth entirely off. He's got a little piece of fabric that is like kind of still there, so he looks a little surprised. He's growing on me now that I got rid of his pink embroidered mouth. But I will make something like this on occasion. I'm pretty good at improvising amigurumis. I don't generally follow a pattern. I don't generally follow a pattern with anything because I have a really hard time remembering where I'm at in the pattern, and I get more confused reading a pattern than I do just fudging my way through it. And generally, if I'm going to make an amigurumi, it's because someone has asked me to make them something specific. My daughter has asked me to make her cherries. I made her cherries for her car, and they hang from her, not her rear view, but like her side, the little hook things. I have been asked by my son. My son's the one that asks me for most things. Now, when he was about 2 or 3, we were watching the newer version of the Muppet Babies cartoon on the Disney Channel. So this was 6, 7 years ago. He comes up to me, this little tiny cute little thing, never asks me for anything. He was he was a troublesome child, okay? He was very always into things. He has severe ADHD that we didn't get diagnosed till he was 6, and he had blazing, glaring symptoms of all these from the time he came out of my stomach. Okay? So when this cute little chubby faced boy, who is the trouble of all the world, comes up to me and says, "Mommy, can you make me this dragon?" There's an episode, let me see if I can find it. There's an episode, that was loud. Muppet Babies Kermit the Frog Amigurumi Dragon. There was an episode of the Muppet Babies where Kermit finds a dragon in the closet. I'm not going to actually find it. Dot the Dragon. Is that what it is? Dot the Dragon. Yes. Dot the Dragon. Okay. So in this episode, Kermit meets a dragon in the closet who is an amigurumi. I kid you not. And this was in the very beginning days of me learning how to crochet. And so he's like, "Mommy, I want a dragon like that." Oh, come on. It's not going to let me zoom in on that picture. He fell in love with this episode of the Muppet Babies and that dragon specifically. And he asked, "Can I make him a dragon?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely. I can try." So from looking at I took a picture on my phone of the dragon that was an actual amigurumi on the TV, and I sat down with my green yarn and I made him a very good, I was impressed with how good it looked. And I don't know if I have a picture of her still. If I do, it will be all the way back in the early days of, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my Instagram because I may have a picture of it. And I did a really good job, so I was really impressed with myself because, like I said, I don't do amigurumi very often. And from then on, he has been mostly the one that's asking me, "Can you make this? Can you make that? Can you make this?" The one thing he has asked me repeatedly to make him is it was one of the game systems. I want to say it was a PlayStation 5. He wanted me to crochet him a game system. And I was like, no, because it's squares. Like, I probably could, but I'm not going to. That's the one thing I've told him no repeatedly. He's asked me about 1,000 times to make him this specific game system, and I want to say it's a PlayStation 5. He has a PlayStation 5. Why he wants a crocheted one, I will never understand. He asked me to make a cartoon character called a Rabbit, which is from video game / cartoons, and I did a pretty good job at that too. I said I have so many posts on Instagram, I'm still just scrolling down. I have very few. I do have a couple of amigurumi tutorials here on the channel. I have a bee. I have the cherries. I have a snowball. I kind of showed how to make the egg in one of the videos, but I think that was it wasn't a standalone egg tutorial. I showed you how to make an egg in, I think, the Minikins video, one of the Minikin videos. And the Minikins is a yarn from Premier Yarns. They come in little stripy cakes that I have in fact showed in the past on the channel. I have an amigurumi for a ghost. That's all I can remember. I'm still scrolling down looking for this dragon. My daughter at one time asked me to make an octopus with a top hat and a spectacle. Don't remember the reason. It had something to do with Panic at the Disco. Oh, here's the dragon. I do have a picture of the dragon. That's my dragon. He still has her. He still loves her. Oh, I also have a couple of pumpkin tutorials here on the channel. So I do have amigurumis on the channel. Here is the octopus with the top hat and the spectacle. Again, this was not at all a pattern. So I have also made turtles aplenty, and I've made a narwhal without a pattern. So I have in fact made amigurumis before. They're not my favorite. I've also said I don't particularly like chenille yarns. I'm very weird with the textures and the feels of some of them. I love certain velvet yarns like the Lion brand. No, was it the Bernat crushed velvet or the Bernat? I have some up there. I made a giant turtle out of the, I think it's Bernat velvet. I made a giant turtle pillow for my niece because she wanted a giant turtle. So I've made amigurumi, but like I said, I don't particularly like the feel of most blanket yarns. I don't like Bernat blanket yarn for the most part because for a long time it felt powdery to me. Like if I touched it in the store, and even a lot of the ones are still on the Michael's shelves. I touch them, I'm like, ugh, and my hands feel gross and powdery, and I don't know how to explain that, except it's a sensory issue. Not a huge fan of certain chenille yarns because they fall apart, or like it's hard to make a magic ring. I do have a trick for a magic ring with this kind of yarn though. If you're working with chenille style yarn, Bernat blanket yarn, any of that kind of stuff, and you can't get it to make a magic ring, I did show this in a video probably a year or two ago. If you take a piece of regular yarn, just cut a little piece, okay? Let me show you a magic trick. Okay, this is gonna go viral because it's so amazeballs, okay? Pretend like, actually you don't even have to make a magic ring. Watch, I'm gonna show you. Take your string 2-3 inches, okay? Cross it like you're making a tie, wrap it twice. 1, 2. Okay? Kind of pull it. Okay, get your crochet hook and do your first 6 single crochets around this, and then pull it tight, and you have a magic circle. Weave these ends in, and you could use acrylic, you could use cotton. Cotton actually is a little stickier, so it doesn't want to pull out as easy. As long as you weave in these ends really good, it will stay a magic circle. And some of my dinosaur feet were created exactly that way because it is difficult to get a real tight magic ring with blanket yarn. Okay, let's get started. Now you guys saw this dinosaur last week in a video, but I don't think this was a Monday Makes video. I showed that I made a little teeny tiny dinosaur. I made this out of anti-pilling acrylic from Premier Yarns. And I used it in a green color, which I just had, and I don't know where I put it. Just had it. Doesn't matter. And I use these cute little gold eyeballs. Okay. I kind of learned how to do a Brontosaurus like this by watching the channel Zack. It's Z-A-C-K with some exclamation points. He has a very fast, sped up tutorial of him showing the basic construction of a Brontosaurus. I did not follow his numbers at all. I watched how he did it and I did my own thing. Okay. This is the same exact number of stitches as this orange guy back here, which I showed you guys last week. And also this guy. This is a 6-weight yarn with a 7mm crochet hook. This is a 4-weight acrylic yarn with a 3.5mm hook. 3.5mm hook. Same exact pattern. Okay. I will show more of the fluorescent yellow one in a minute. Then I made an egg. And it's a cracked egg. This egg is not real great. This egg's got a lot of difficulties. First of all, I started off using scrap parfait yarn from Premier. And I ran out. And I had white. What did I do with the mannequin? I feel like I'm losing my mind. Every time I set something down, it disappears. It's on the floor. The mannequin I showed you at the beginning of the video, I had some white in one of the stripes, so I pulled it out thinking it's white, but it's not white. In fact, give this a second, it will... See how it's kind of pink right here? It looked white in the ball, but when I put it next to the white, it's pink. Then I ran out of that. And this is not Bernat, or this is not parfait at all. I don't know what yarn this is. It feels gross. And so because I was using a different yarn with the same hook, it came out really pointy. This egg is the ugliest egg I've ever made, but the dinosaur is coming out of his egg. And this looks so cute sitting on my shelf. Just like that. I mean, you could turn that so it just looks like he's busting out of his egg, because that looks really weird. But I made the egg. Okay, so I made him. And he's going to go probably on my shelf back here because I'm kind of in love with him so much. Alright, we'll put you right there. That will not be the end of the egg saga, so we'll come back to the eggs. Then I made... I don't remember what order these are in. Okay, so we're just going to show the Brontosauruses. And then we'll show the Triceratops. Okay? So, I'm going to let you guys know that I have used up almost all of the big bulky yarns. I've used up probably 60 or 70% of all the big bulky yarns I bought at Joann's last week that I was having all that regret about. Yeah. I used up almost all of the yellow. This is actually Hobby Lobby yarn. If you guys remember, I did the pillow tutorial for the boobies, the booby pillow. And this is the nipple yarn that was left over. So this is the one. I used up a lot, if not all of the blue. I will check. Nope, I have blue left. So I have blue left. I have fluorescent yellow left from those big giant skeins. I used up all of the pink that you'll see in a minute. I have some of the green left. I have some of the orange left from that guy. So yeah, and I think I used up all of the nipple color. Alright, now, this is going to be a parade of dinosaurs. There's the fluorescent yellow one, which is a perfect highlighter yellow color. These eyes are available on Amazon. They're my favorite eyes for the dinosaurs. They just look more dinosaur eyes. Well, I take that back, because the Stegosaurus, no, that's not a Stegosaurus. The Triceratops has a different eye on them, but the Brontosaurus look really cute with this style eye, and I don't know why, but all of my dinosaurs have this eye. I need to order more. I will try to remember to link these eyes below. They are part of the cartoon pack that I ordered from Amazon. Llama Mama Kayla has these, and I only know that because I saw them on her desk when I was watching her video last week. And I was like, because some of her creatures had the same eye. I was like, she's got the same eyes as me. So I will link these below. These are a lot of fun, and they look really cute on certain amigurumis. And these ones also came in here, but they're in their own bag. It also came with these weird bug eyes. Those are creepy. I don't like those. And then, I don't remember what I did with the flat eyes. I separated them. They're somewhere with other eyes that I was using. Because I've been carrying around a project bag. This is my Panic at the Disco bag from the Viva Los Vengeance tour. And it's filled with... I don't think the eyeballs are in here. The eyeballs are in fact in here. So it only came with a handful of these ones in that big pack. And so I need to order more of this, just this style for the dinosaurs because I really like that. We'll talk about those again in a minute. And as you can see, there's more amigurumi in this bag. That's full with amigurumi. All right, so this is the highlighter yellow. This yarn is the Big Twist Plush in highlighter yellow, which I don't remember the name of the color because I didn't keep any of my tags. Love him. Every one of these dinosaurs is slightly different because I'm not following a pattern. I am making alterations as I go, and that is causing some of them to look a little weird. But we're just going with the flow and we're having fun with it. So we have the fluorescent yellow. And he has a shorter, squattier body, but he's more got like a rounded booty because I'm playing with it and I'm making little changes as I go here and there. That one's got like big old fat rolls on his side because I was playing with it and making a change. This one has a longer body. He's more flat-backed. His tail is more out and erect. He's got all kinds of things that are just a little bit special about him. But he's a little spatial. It was not intended that he was going to be so spatial, but I was playing with designs and changes in the way I was decreasing and like all kinds of things. I was trying to figure some things out, and so he turned out with some unique functions that maybe look a little bit wrong. But I still love him. He's just special, okay? This is the nipple colored yarn from Hobby Lobby, the Snuggles and Kisses or whatever it is. And then this one was by popular demand because a lot of you said you need to make a dinosaur out of the highlighter yellow, the sparkly blue, the sparkly pink. So I did all of those. And his tail is kind of pointing up too. I wanted it more like this, more down, but he's a happy dinosaur. He's wagging his tail, okay? Then these, for the most part, are no-sew. The only thing that is attached is the tail is sewn on separately. So you make the 4 feet. You crochet the body. Seriously, go watch Zach. He shows you how to construct it. And then I made a bunch of changes from that. Because he was going so fast that I was just like, okay, I kind of see where he's doing the increases, the decreases. I see what he's doing, and I just did my own thing. And like I said, none of these are from a specific pattern. I just watched and learned how to make it from him, and then I did my own thing. And so this is my blue, and he is absolutely sparkly. And this is Bernat Sparkle Baby Blanket yarn. Okay, so those are the 3 Brontosauruses. And then, of course, this is the 4th one that I made this week. And then I made that orange one. You guys keep in count. And then I made a green one for RJ for Easter. So that's dark green, orange, blue, nipple, highlighter yellow, baby green. I made 6 brontosauruses in the past about 10 days. But that's not all, folks. Then I was like, I'm going to take the brontosaurus body. She's got a weird wrinkle there. It's fine. I took the brontosaurus body and I tried doing some different things on the top to close this off more, because you don't need to close it up as far with the brontosaurus. So she was a prototype, but she's beautiful. I still love her. And I made this while watching The Last of Us, and it was very, very hard for me to watch The Last of Us. It was the tragic episode, and it was where Joel died, and it was sad, and it was devastating, and I was making this, and I yelled at my daughter, like, why did you make me watch that? It was devastating. But this was me testing out a Triceratops. This is, again, not a pattern. I made the body very similar to the brontosaurus body. Had to do some different changes to close this up more to do, there's differences here. The head, totally different thing. And you hear the little kids across the street screaming and crying in the front yard. And the eyes are much different. These eyes, and then I'm trying to remember how I built her head. I think I built her head nose back and I attached her head. I believe that's how I made this one. I know for a fact that's how I did the pink one, but I think that's how I did this one too. Her eyes are sunken in, and they're these beautiful, expressive eyes. You have pink fluff on your horn. Are you ramming your sister? You had been ramming the sister. I just think this is the cutest thing ever. And without the shield, it looks like a rhinoceros. Without the horns and the shield, look at that. She's a rhinoceros. She just needs little ears where these would be. So I kind of want to buy gray and make a rhinoceros, because I love, love, love rhinoceroses. But the mouth would have to be wider, because although there are different breeds of rhinoceros. There are white rhinos, black rhinos. What is the other one? And depending on the type of rhino, some have a more pointy nose and some have a really wide flat nose. And the flat mouth ones are my favorite. Those are the ones that are actually at Walt Disney World. So back to the eyes. These eyes were sent to me in Happy Mail. I will try to find these and link these as well. Because I didn't buy them, I have to go looking for them. But there's a code on here. Like, I might be able to scan that and see. These eyes are really cool. I have one, I think, already made, because I messed up. I also have been carrying this everywhere I go, and this has my eyeglasses in it. It has the variety of crochet hooks. It has my scissors. It has some random eyeballs and noses and my darning needles. I must have took it out. So these eyes are different in the fact that the pupil is directional. So depending on which way you point the pupil will change the look on the face of the amigurumi you're making. And the back is not flat, the back is cupped like this. And so when it goes on, it sinks the eyeball into the head and snaps on. They're a lot more secure than the flat backed ones, because they like grip on, and I know this because I messed up a couple of eyes by putting them on, and then, oh, I didn't like where the eye was. I couldn't even get the yarn to frog from underneath where this was clamped on. So I like these much better for this style of yarn, because they're much more secure and sunken into the yarn, not just kind of attached. I really like those for amigurumi. So this girl, I gave her blue glitter eyes. and she is looking down her nose at you. And I love her so much. Do you see how I got the shaping around her leg and she's got like a little belly right there? I just love her so much. And she was my trauma bond when I was watching The Last of Us, because I was holding on to her for dear life when I was sewing her head on, when I was watching all the drama and the tragedy happen on The Last of Us. And yes, it was the episode Joel died. It was sad. And then when I was making her and I was attaching her head, I started having flashbacks of the episode where Joel died, and I was like, don't put trauma into this one too. She's a little bit different, ever so slightly. Her back is much more smoothed out than this one. Her head is attached much differently. I like that her head is upright. Like, I really love that her head is upright, because she's like, you know, she's looking at you and she wants to interact with you, and she just is really cute. But I also like that her head is on, it's not wobbly, it's on more secure. Her tail's got a little crease in there, but that's alright. And again, this is very similar to the Brontosaurus body. I made changes in here so that she closed off more smoothly, more evenly, and I attached her head way differently. And so here she is. And I also, instead of using the plush yarn for the horns, I used whatever this crappy yarn is right here, because it's stiffer, it's thinner, and the horns are not stuffed at all, but they stand really like erect. And her eyes are purple, and she's also center looking with her eyes, but I moved her eyes a little bit closer together, and she's just like, the expression on her face is so stinking cute. And once again, she's sparkly. And I have no more of the pink sparkly left. I used every last bit of it on her and a little chickie that I'm about to show you, or a baby bird. They're birds. I don't know if they're all chickies. They're little baby birds and eggs, which is going to be the next thing that I show you, because I made a bunch of those last night and this morning. So now our count is 8 dinosaurs in the past, I'm going to say 10 days. Yeah. Love her. I love her. I love her. And she's my little squishy. Alright. Let's move the brontosauruses over and out of the way. My husband's getting restless. Now let's go into the bag of funds. Alright, so here is whatever that gross yarn is that I was using. I think I used this yarn. I think this was a scrap ball or something that I used to make a ghost in the ghost tutorial, the Amigurumi ghost. I think that that's what this is left over from. So I would have to, and it's not true white, it's kind of leaning cream. I've used almost my entire ball of the Big Twist plush in the color white. I wish I had thought to buy more of those. But Premier Yarns does sell plenty of plush style yarns that I can just order some from them, so it's not a big deal. Alright, now I made so many birds and eggs. Okay? And they're all, again, they are not a tutorial. They're not a pattern. I didn't follow anything. These were inspired. You guys may have seen last Monday Makes videos. I showed you guys I made some chickens and eggs and a little owlet. We're going to call her an owl. In an egg for Easter, for my kids' Easter baskets. And they all loved the Amigurumi. They were a big hit. Even my non-birth child, RJ, loved his dinosaur. He's so grateful for the dinosaur. My daughter loved the little owlet and the egg. Little man liked everything. So, we're going to start with the first guy that I made. I made all of the baby birds first, and then I made the eggs secondary. So, I made the egg to fit the bird. And no two birds are alike. because I, like I said, did not follow a pattern. I knew what I wanted to do. And these were inspired kind of from a post that Lion Brand made. And they made it before Easter. And I really liked the way the little birdies and the eggs look, so I made some. Not following any kind of thing. These are very simple to make. And I'm sure somewhere in the interwebs there are something that will help you to make something similar to this, okay? Unlike the eggs that I made for Easter, these ones do not close entirely because I want you to see the bird poking out of the eggs. I just think it's so much cuter. Alright? And the eggs are not attached, so the birdies come out. You have a little egg left over. Okay? This is the little bluebird. And you see, I used the sinkable eyes in all of these because they sink in real good and it gives them a more expressive look, because this guy's like, you see how he's looking to the side? Isn't that cute? His eye almost looks like it's moving. Aren't they just cute? And they have a little tail. His tail is folded down because he didn't fit in his egg otherwise, so I just flipped his tail down. Isn't that adorable? And you don't have to put the tail on there. I just really like the way it looks with a tail. You got a cute little eggy. Tuck his tail in. Otherwise the egg don't stay on his head. And that's the cutest little thing. Okay, so, and the blue is sparkly. And the white is just the plush yarn from Big Twist that I showed you already. Alright, that's birdie number 1. Then I made the pink one. And she's real cute with her egg hat on, but because I'm not following a pattern, because I'm not following numbers, I'm just making it and making adjustments as I go to see how it turns out. Her head's a little funky. Okay. She looks more like a pigeon than a cute little bluebird, but that's okay. She could be a little pink pigeon. That is the shape of her. And she is also looking to the side. She's looking to the side a little more like giving you side eye, like dirty side eye. Whereas this one is like curious to the side, like. She also has a cute little tail. A little fan tail, because she's a pigeon. She's a fantail pigeon. She got a sassy look on her face. Okay, this side is cute. That side's like kind of menacing. And her head irritates me because she's got a whole lot of forehead going on. And she just doesn't, her face is not as cute as the other ones, but with the egg on she's perfect, and she's a pigeon. And I really like their little wings. And their wings, and again, these are all no sew with the exception of the wings, and the wings are optional. If I ever show you guys how to make these. And once again we have the little eggy, tuck her tail in, cover her little head. Cute as could be. Just cute as could be. I just am so in love with these. And then I wanted a chunky chickie. So this one is fatter than all of the other ones. And because he's fatter, I also had to make the eggs fatter. And once again, we have a hinged egg. We have a cute little fluffy tail back there. And he is the color of a tennis ball. This one is Ponyo's favorite. Ponyo really likes this guy. And he's looking towards the center a little bit, so he's more curious and just, he's stinking cute. My camera is reading him as green. He is very fluorescent yellow. And his little wings. He's all fluffed up. He's got, his feathers are in a fluff. And his egg, much bigger. Like many, many more stitches bigger. But he's stinking cute. He's probably my favorite. I mean, I really like the blue one, but like, this one's just cute. And this one's definitely a chickie. And then we made Oswaldo. He has got a chunky butt like the yellow one, so his bottom egg is a lot fatter. But his eggshell's only on his head. Because I wanted to make one a little different. So he's cute with just the bottom. He's cute with his little egg on top. He almost looks like he's in a cloud. And he also is removable. And this one is saying hi. Because his little wing. This wing goes up and that one don't. So he's saying hi to you. I had so much fun with these amigurumi this week. It's absolutely ridiculous how much fun I had making these. And his tail sticks out because it can. Because we don't need a hinge to close it. And he can have his little sideway hat. However you want it. And you can attach the top part of his egg. Doesn't matter to me. So, and his little eyes are looking up. You see how he's looking up? Because he's got baby eyes. He's got those little baby eyes. And then last but not least, so you guys keeping track, that's 8 dinosaurs, 4 chickies, 4 eggs. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 16 pieces. Because the eggs are a separate entity. And you could have the egg all by themselves and put literally anything in them. Like a dinosaur, a snake, whatever naturally is born in there. You can put a bear in there if you want. Like a bear can come from an egg. Doesn't matter. Then I had some pink left over, and I was trying to make another little birdie that had a normal head, and I ran out of the pink. And I don't know how I ran out of the pink, because I have lots of blue left over. This will for certain make another decent sized bird. Maybe it's because there's although wherever the green went, there's a lot of green left over, and I made it's not a Stegosaurus, the Triceratops. Why do I keep calling it a Stegosaurus? So because I had ran out of the pink, I still wanted a pink bird, so I made a little strawberry bird. I decided not to put the wings on this bird because he's a strawberry bird. He's got his little tail. Maybe his wings are tucked in, I don't know. Both of my children recognized that this was a strawberry, even though this is blue and not green. And that it was a strawberry bird. So I consider this a success. And she's not getting an eggshell because strawberries don't grow in eggs. And I don't think strawberries and eggs go together because gross. And her eyes, once again, are a little bit different. She's looking down her beak a little bit. And she's got a little sassy, curious look. That cute little beak. And she is sparkly all the way through, which is why I used the blue instead of the green on her head. And I just made a little leafy thing on top. But that is the extent of my amigurumis this week. I am proud of what we've done. I have noticed the pain in my shoulders is much different making amigurumi than it is if I'm crocheting anything else in the world, because I do a lot of out and away from my bodies and my arms up, specifically with the brontosauruses, because when I'm doing their head I have to crochet up this way, and so I'm doing a lot of so I can see it, because I'm my glasses, it's a whole thing. Okay, I have diabetic eyes. Sometimes my eyes work, some days my eyes don't work. And so some days I have to hold it really close, some days I have to hold it further away, and it's just a thing. So that is what I have made in the past. Most of it I made in the past 7 days, with the exception of the orange guy and I think the green guy. I don't remember what day I made that. But yeah, most of this was in the past, actually, not even 7 days. I made all the chickens and the eggs in a matter of maybe a 5-hour period. All of them, which is insane. They don't take any time at all. The eggs maybe take me 15 minutes. Maybe a half an hour if we're actually pushing it. The chickens take a little, the birdies take a little longer. The dinosaurs take a long time. But I was making a dinosaur a day. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, yeah, 5 dinosaurs was 5 days. He was on the 6th day. And then the other guy was like a couple days before that. So, yeah. This guy and this guy, because he's the same amount of stitches as the big guys, he took just as long as the big guys to make, which is so crazy to me. But with that, I've used up a great many big giant balls of blanket yarn that I didn't have to put away. Now, is that saying that I don't have other yarn that I need to put away? No, because there's a lot of yarn sitting here still that I never put away, that I bought at Joann's that I never put away. And I got 2 more packages from Premier Yarns today alone, which will be featured this week. I'm actually really excited to show you both of those packages. One is going to be a yarn review. One is just going to be a really cool unboxing. I'm debating on whether I want to do a tutorial this week. That's just going to have to wait and see how the week actually goes, because I do have more free time this week, because now we're getting to the life update. So if that's all you came for was yarn stuff, you can end the video here and have a good day. Love you. See you later. But if you want to hear about Cinema Stitches real life, my son finished his schoolwork even earlier. He is now a 5th grade graduate. I haven't done a graduation ceremony. I haven't printed him a report card. I haven't printed him a graduation for the 5th grade certificate. I've done none of these things. But I have plenty of time before that's all required by the school district, so I'm not really worried about any of that. But he is officially finished with his curriculum for the 5th grade. And now he is going to be a middle schooler. And I don't know how my baby is a middle schooler, and I'm having feelings. I was looking at what is required for middle school curriculum, and we're now picking electives. He's required 2 electives. Has much bigger, broader options for subjects, so we can narrow down like history or like social studies type stuff to just U.S. geography, which is fun because we can actually travel to those places and have road trips, and we talk about the places and what the capital looks like. I take him over to Washington, D.C. We talk about the capital of Washington, D.C. I can take him to the capital of Virginia. Like, I can show him these things. And with travel, he's learning. And because he's already been to so many states, he kind of recognizes where things on the map are anyway, because he knows that when we go to Disney World, the order of states are: we leave Virginia, we go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. He knows that when we went to Grandma's house, he doesn't have it memorized because there's a lot of states that way. If you're not from the United States, driving one coast to the other coast is a 3-day drive. It's not I know that in some countries, specifically in Europe, like, you could drive to another country in like 2 hours, 3 hours. It's 3 days. And that's, well, last time we drove coast to coast, it was 4 days, but we kept it to 10 to 12 hours driving every day. So it's 39 hours, I think, driving. Something along those lines. I'm going to estimate to say it's about 40 hours, and then you have to include in stops for eating, for potty breaks, for sleeping, all that good stuff. So 4 days essentially to drive coast to coast. And he knows kind of the order because we've been to Michigan, I don't know how many times, because that's where I'm from. We've been to California. He doesn't remember a lot of it because the last time we went he was really young, but we have been to so many cool places across the United States, and we're going to talk about all that. I'm really excited about that. I think that will be much more interesting than the really boring history that he has had this year, that he struggled to just maintain listening to the assignments because, oh, it's treacherous. So, super excited about that, and because of that, I have more time specifically in my mornings to do work, to do playing video games. I've been playing video games this week. I've been practicing at Fortnite, and I've been playing the shoot 'em up games, killing people. My battery's dying. I think I talked too much. Hang on one second. Alright. So I've been playing Dreamlight Valley because the new whatever you call it is out. And reattach my clamp to that. And there's just been more free time this week because he finished his schoolwork a couple days ago. Yes, sir. You ready to get out? Are you ready for mommy to be done talking? He got up because he heard me turn the camera off and he thought it was time to go out. Because he knows the signals from the camera that, oh, Mom's done talking, we can go back amongst the living. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some summertime off and catching up with life and reprioritizing and looking back on the year, our first year of homeschooling, I would not change a single thing that I have done. I have zero regrets about removing him from public school, and I'm really proud of myself for standing up and doing that, because my husband was not on board at first, and this was a decision I did by myself, and I made all the calls and did all the paperwork, and I pushed forward and did this on my own, which is not the way I parent at all. Like, me and my husband are a team, and this was something I felt so strongly about, that I did this on my own. Because like I said, he was not, he is now, he's on board now. He was not at first. He just didn't think that he would get as good of an education at home, and I proved him wrong. Because my child got a better education this year than he would have ever gotten in any school, just because he's able to focus, he's able to take a break when he needs to, he doesn't have to sit and be quiet in a class full of kids who don't understand him. There's no judgment here. Like, it was so much a safer environment that he was free to learn and learn what he wanted to learn about, which is why he had 2 science curriculums this year. He did 2 full science classes, 2 full 5th grade science curriculums that were 2 very different teachings on top of math, English, social studies, computers. He took computers. So he did a half a year of STEM. These are things that schools don't offer. So it was kind of cool. No regrets. And I'm so proud of myself and him, because we did it together and we were a team, and I really think it brought us closer together. It made him realize his love for learning, not his dread of going to school and having to survive school. And so we made it. We made it. I'm so proud of us. My health, there's not a lot to talk about. I feel really sick to my stomach today, but I feel good other than that. I have more energy. I am not really losing a whole lot of weight. Like, I'm at 23 pounds, I think. And it's going way slower than I wanted it to go. But we're just taking it a day at a time. The really bad heart palpitations I had the first month are almost gone. That have all, like, going up a dose has made a lot of the symptoms disappear. So I don't feel as bad every day. I don't feel as bad overall. I have days like today where my stomach is really painful, but it's because I ate potatoes last night and I shouldn't have, and I knew I shouldn't have, and I did it anyway. And my stomach was like, no, we don't like potatoes. Soda is another thing my stomach does not like anymore, but I'm having one today because, like, my stomach already hurts, so what's it gonna do? And I really just needed a soda to get through the day today. Mental health is doing better than it was last month. Last month I was very crying all the time, for no reason, just all over the place mood-wise. This month I feel a little bit better. I'm getting ready to have an increase again in the dosage. In case you don't know, I'm on Zepbound. I'm on it for my diabetes. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I'm on it for weight loss to help control the diabetes. I have removed one of my blood pressure medications and my diabetes pill. So I'm off 2 medications in just over a month. So it is helping with my overall health in general, which I'm really happy with that. Now, I think that's really it for the updates in my life. There's not a lot else going on. There's going to be a lot of Premier Yarns content this week because I placed a couple orders. So hopefully my other order comes this week too. So I do have a yarn review for the new yarn, which is over there on the floor because it fell off the chair when I put the dinosaurs on it. I got the new cotton yarn from Premier, so we're going to do a review and test on that. I kind of think I want to make a bag with it. That's what I'm thinking. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what's planned this week so far. I cannot think of anything else I wanted to tell you, and I'm sure as soon as I turn the video off, I will remember other things, but I think that was a pretty good video for today. We got through a lot. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Is anybody interested in learning how to make a bird and an egg? I was thinking about maybe doing a tutorial for this on the channel soon. I would like to hear your feedbacks on this because this is really fun and it's really easy and it's a really quick workup. And I know I'm going to get someone asking about how to make the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs take me a couple hours. I don't want to do a tutorial on those. There are a lot of tutorials on the internet and paid for patterns and free patterns for dinosaurs. All you gotta do is search amigurumi dinosaur in Google. Something will come up. If you want to make the brontosaurus, go watch Zach. It is not, in my opinion, is not a beginner-friendly tutorial because it goes so fast. It speeds through, but a lot of people have made the dinosaurs based off of his tutorial. So if you have a basic understanding of how to make amigurumis or the construction, the tutorial is perfectly fine for everyone. But if you're a beginner, you've never made an amigurumi, pick something much easier to start with. Because the dinosaur to me was easy, but his tutorial sped so fast I didn't actually follow any of his numbers or any of his like advice. I just watched him and then I was like, okay, well that's easy, I can figure that out on my own, and that's where we went from there. And like I said, every time I make a new dinosaur I change it, so there's a little bit of alterations here, there, and the other, and yeah. And you don't have to use blanket yarn, you can use any old yarn. It will just change the size of your amigurumi. And I will try to remember to link the sinking eyeballs and the cartoon eyeballs. They are both available on Amazon, I believe. I'll have to look and see. These very well may be from Temu. I don't know. Because like I said, I didn't buy them. I'll try to find those and link those as well. And with that, I will let you guys go. And I will see you tomorrow. Because I think tomorrow we're going to unbag the new cotton yarn from Premier Yarns and do a yarn review, I think. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.